In a massive turnabout, British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson has just addressed the UN regarding Article 7 of the Human Rights Council, the permanent line item criticizing alleged Israeli abuses. Johnson says that the disproportionate measure must be removed, and if it isn't, then just like the US, the UK will begin automatically vetoing any resolution that comes from it. Joining me now with more is former Israeli ambassador to multiple countries, Yosef Livne. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
So first, what do you think happened here that caused this about-face in British policy?
Well, I think that the main issue here is the fact that Britain is recognizing the stupidity and the malice of having an item number dedicated only to Israel. Now, Boris Johnson is a person who traditionally has had a very favorable opinion of Israel, and I think that it must have been through his conversations with his American colleagues, and that somehow produced this change of heart. And I think that what he said basically is common sense. You cannot have singling out year in and year out. And I think this is the main reason why he said what he did.
Do you think that other countries are now going to follow suit?
Now, that is something very interesting to watch for. I think if they go ahead and do change, well, we have to, first of all, to see if the Council decides to do away with Article 7, which is dedicated, as it were, to Israeli policies. If they do, then we may find ourselves in a new situation. Mm-hmm. Should they decide to keep it, it'll be interesting to see which countries may follow the US and the UK. Remember, the US has also said that they may consider withdrawing altogether from the Council.
Right.
So maybe the British, who certainly do not want the US to leave, they figure, well, if the situation remains as is, we may have a situation by promising to follow the US example in voting against, in going against Article 7, they may get other countries to do the same.
Now, would you say that this is a sign of improving ties between Israel and Europe, or, just Israel and the United Kingdom, or maybe just Israel and Boris Johnson, the man?
I would be very hesitant to go out and on a limb on that. I think that one has to take this particular issue as is. I think it's a welcome change. I think that it sends a clear message to that UN body, which is really one of the most abusive units within the United Nations system. I think that the fact that Great Britain has taken such a position is a positive sign. On the whole, if you sort of take the political issues, the relations between Israel and the UK are fairly good. So yeah, it's an improvement.
Well, the question here is how likely is it that, permanent line item 7 is actually going to be removed as a result of these threats that we're seeing coming from Boris Johnson right now?
We have to see the composition of the Council as a whole. Still, there is a majority of those countries, what we usually call the automatic majority. And the question is, will the countries that compose that automatic majority, which traditionally are Muslim countries, Arab countries, and their allies, if some of the countries decide to do away with it or not? Mm-hmm. This is something we'll have to wait and see. I cannot predict at this point what kind of policy they will adopt. If the Palestinians are committed to go on and claim all kind of empty victories at the UN system, such as the Human Rights Council, then it'll be there. If serious countries understand that you cannot go on and on and on by singling out Israel, and the rest of the countries, all the rest of the world has another item. if they see the futility, the stupidity, the malice of it all, maybe we'll see some change.
All right. Well, it's certainly going to be interesting to watch and see what happens.
Definitely.
As a result of Johnson's speech. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.